Hi, hello, and howdy do. It's Jazzy Jack Gaming, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the Hive Skywars maps. Here's what I'm going to be ranking them on. Number 1, looks. This one's pretty clear. How cool does the map look? Number 2, accessibility. This one pretty much means how easy is it to move around the map. This also includes things like chest placement, and it's not going to count if something's hard to get to on purpose. And number 3, trap potential. Can you make cool traps on this map? I don't actually know very much about Skywars trapping, so I will be resorting to my friend Soren for a lot of traps you can do on maps. Okay, let's do this. We got a tier list right here, and then we have a whole lot of different maps. And so let's start off with Pillars. I don't think Pillars looks very good, but I do like the island placements and the chest placement. I think it's an overall pretty good map. I'm going to give it an A. Okay, next up we've got Ivory, and I love Ivory. I think it looks pretty good, and I love the chest placement. You can go in guns blazing in the middle, but there's two on the outside if you want to go in quietly. And I just really like this map, and it's totally an S for me. Okay, next up we've got Galactic, and I do not like Galactic. I think it looks really bad. It's got a lot of long, windy side islands that I think are just a lot worse than most Skywars maps side islands. It's got pretty bad chest placement, and its one saving grace is that it's got a lot of cool traps you can do because it's got a lot of exotic blocks. But I don't think it's going to save it from going into D. Next up is Wildwood, and Wildwood is really pretty. I really like how it looks. It's a nice map, but I don't really like the towers next to all the side islands, and often it can feel like the map's a bit cluttered, and it's difficult to move around a bit, I think. And it does have a couple cool traps you can do on it, so I am going to put this in A. Now we have Baroque, and I like Baroque. I think it's really pretty, and unlike Wildwood, it's very flat and there's a lot of area to move around. And there is some water on the map. There's a little pond in the middle, and I think that's a cool place. And I really like this map, so it's going an S. Next up's Monastery. And Monastery's got a very odd aesthetic. It's like a spruce biome. It's got coarse dirt. It's got gravel, that sort of thing. And I don't like that to begin with. But on top of that, like all the middle chests and whatnot are surrounded by like a fence just around the entire middle. And I think it looks really bad. It doesn't really fit in. And on top of that, it is the most inconvenient thing ever when running around. And so I think that's what's going to push it from a C into D. Here we have Violet Keep. And Violet Keep, I don't really have a strong opinion on it. I don't play it very much, and if I do, I just don't remember it. I feel like it's pretty average. It looks pretty nice, I guess, but like, I really just don't have a strong opinion on this. It's going into B tier. Next is Ruby. And something I've heard about Ruby is that it's too wide and too spread out. And that's true to an extent, but I think Ruby has a lot going for it. I think it looks really nice, got a nice aesthetic, and I do really like the way the island is spread out and the way that right off the bat it forces you into an encounter with another duo. I think that's kind of cool, but I am going to give it an A. Next is Utopia. And I have not played Utopia in a while, and I was just about to put it in C or something, but then I played it again, and it's a really good map. It looks really nice. It's got the aesthetic of Pillars, but just a lot better. It's got a really cool underground thing beneath the center where you can fight and stuff. This is actually a really good underrated map, and it's going into A. Anora is probably the best map in the entire game. It looks fantastic, and I love the way all the side islands are set out, and the middle is spectacular. Like, you've got a bunch of waterways, the middle building looks great, the chest placements are pretty cool. Like, I don't know what's not to like about this map, and it is 100% an S. Meadow is set up a lot differently from most other maps, but other than that, I feel like it's a pretty average map. I guess it looks nice, but it doesn't really have anything that's special about it. And so I think it's just gonna be a high B. Dynasty is a map I do not play very much. But when I do, it's really great. It's really underrated. It's got all the great things of Wildwood, but it's just a lot easier to move around. It's a fantastic map. And I really want to put into S, but the only thing holding me back is I just don't play it enough, and I don't really know if I should. I'm sorry, Dynasty, but I'm going to have to relegate you to... Okay, now I've got a little stretch of maps that I don't play very much, either because they're pretty new or because they're a squads map or something like that. First up, we've got Beyond. I literally cannot recollect playing this map. C. Campsite. It's still pretty new, and I don't really know that much about it. It looks pretty cool, so it's going in B. Spellbrook. I legitimately had to ask Soren whether or not this was a duos map. C. Castle is a really good squads map, so it's going to go into A. I really do not like the way Bazaar puts all their chests in little stalls and stuff. It's a bad Utopia. It's going into D. Temple's okay, I guess. B. Finally is Armada. And Armada, the special thing about Armada is the spawn islands. They're all boats, which is on its own really cool. And then I really like how it's set up. You can go all over, and then all the oars can be surrounded by a bunch of doors, and it's cool. You have to open them up. And I just think that's a fun concept. And so I'm going to put it into A, almost S. Well, that'll be it for this video. This has been Jazzy Jack Gaming. And remember, Technoblade is better than Dream. See you later.